We think it's best if you skip party this year, Emma. We want peace and calm for once. My mother's text glowed on my phone screen, each word hitting like a small dagger. Your sister Kate is bringing her new fiancé, and we don't want any tension. I stared at the message, 15 years of party, memories flashing through my mind. 15 years of hosting elaborate celebrations in my restored Victorian home, of cooking meals that took days to prepare, of decorating every inch of space to create the perfect holiday atmosphere, all dismissed with a single text. My name is Emma Sullivan, and at 38, I'd just been uninvited from my family's party celebration, the one I'd been hosting since I was 23. The irony wasn't lost on me. They wanted to celebrate in peace in my sister's small apartment instead of my spacious home, the home they'd once called too extravagant, too ambitious for a single woman. Perfect, I typed back, surprising myself with how steady my fingers felt. Enjoy your holidays. My mother's response was immediate. Don't be difficult, Emma. You know how you can get intense about everything. Kate wants a simple celebration this year. Intense. That's what they called my attention to detail, my desire to make everything special. When I restored this old Victorian house by myself, they called it intense. When I turned my baking hobby into a successful online cooking channel, they called it intense. When I created magical party celebrations that neighbors talked about all year, they called it intense. I set my phone down and looked around my living room. The party tree wasn't up yet. It was only November 30th. But I could already picture where everything would go. The handmade ornaments I collected over the years, the vintage decorations I carefully restored, the special angel that always topped the tree. My phone buzzed again. Emma, you're not upset, are you? We just think it's Kate's turn to host. She's engaged now, and Mark's family is very traditional. Traditional. Like my sister who changed careers every 2 years was traditional. Like my parents who never hosted party, themselves were traditional. I picked up my phone, opened my banking app, and smiled. No worries at all, I replied. I have other plans anyway. And I did. Plans that had been in motion for months, plans that would make this party unforgettable, just not in the way my family expected. The next morning, I made 2 calls. The first was to my friend Olivia, who ran the local children's home. Everything's set, she told me excitedly. The kids can't wait. Are you sure about this, Emma? More sure than I've ever been, I replied, my heart warming at the thought of what was to come. The second call was to my agent. Yes, I had an agent now, another thing my family dismissed as intense. The contract's signed, she confirmed. The Food Network loved your party, special pitch. They'll start filming next week. I hung up and looked at my phone. 3 more texts from my mother, each more probing than the last. What other plans? You always host Christmas. Are you going somewhere? Emma, answer me. I set my phone to silent and pulled out my planning notebook. The one my sister had mocked as obsessive last party when I was organizing the perfect holiday meal. This year, it held different plans, special plans. The doorbell rang, interrupting my thoughts. It was Mrs. Anderson from next door, clutching a tin of cookies. Emma, dear, I just heard from your mother at the market. Is it true you're not hosting party this year? The whole neighborhood looks forward to your celebrations. I smiled, taking the tin. Don't worry, Mrs. Anderson. Party isn't canceled. It's just going to be different this year. Very different. As I closed the door, my phone lit up with another text, this time from Kate. Mom's worried you're mad. Don't be dramatic, sis. You know how overwhelming your Christmases can get. Mark's family likes things simple. I picked up my notebook again, running my finger down the carefully organized list. Simple wasn't in my vocabulary, and this party would prove why that wasn't a bad thing. My family wanted peace. They would have it, along with the realization of exactly what they'd given up. Let them have their simple Christmas. Mine was going to change lives, and they had no idea what was coming. The next 2 weeks flew by in a whirlwind of activity. While my family sent probing texts about my plans, I was busy transforming my Victorian home into something magical. The Food Network crew arrived, setting up equipment and capturing every moment as I decorated each room with a different theme. And this, I explained to the camera, gesturing to the massive tree in my living room, is our wish tree. Every ornament represents a child's party, dream. The producer wiped away tears as I showed her the handwritten wishes from the children's home, each one carefully transformed into a beautiful decoration. My phone buzzed constantly. Kate's messages grew more irritated. Mom says you're not even answering about party, dinner preferences. Are you trying to make me look bad? I smiled, remembering how last year she complained that my traditional party, dinner, was showing off. Now, apparently, my absence was equally problematic. The local news caught wind of what was happening. Local chef partners with children's home for party, miracle, read the headline. My mother called immediately. Emma, what's this article about? Are you doing this to spite us? No, Mom, I replied calmly, watching as volunteers helped set up the outdoor light display. I'm doing this because while you're all seeking peace, 30 children from the home have never experienced a real party celebration. The silence on the other end was telling. But what about family? She finally managed. Exactly, Mom. What about family? My father tried next, his gruff voicemail message almost making me laugh. Princess, your sister's very upset. She thinks you're trying to steal attention from her engagement. Can't you just come to her apartment for a quiet dinner instead of whatever this is? I was reviewing the final plans with Olivia when Kate showed up unannounced. She stood in my foyer, taking in the transformation with wide eyes. What is all this? The house was stunning. Each room told a story. The dining room set for 35 children plus staff. The living room with its massive wish tree. The kitchen preparing for cooking lessons where the kids would learn to make party cookies. This, I said, gesturing around, is what party should be about. Not peace and quiet, but joy and giving. But Kate struggled, watching a crew member adjust lights for the upcoming TV special. Is that a Food Network van outside? It is. Turns out my intense approach to party is exactly what they were looking for. The special airs on Party Eve. Kate's face flushed. So this is about showing us up. Making us look bad for wanting a simple family Christmas. I shook my head, handing her a folder. Inside were photos and stories of each child who would be celebrating here, along with their party wishes. No, Kate. This is about making sure these children have the party they deserve. The kind of magical celebration I used to create for our family, before it became too overwhelming for everyone. She flipped through the pages, her expression softening. Emma, hi. You should go, I said gently. You have your simple party to plan, remember? Mark's traditional family is waiting. After she left, Olivia squeezed my arm. Your sister looked shocked. She's not the only one who'll be surprised, I replied, checking my planning notebook one last time. Everything was falling into place perfectly. That evening, my mother called again. Emma, honey, we've been thinking. Maybe we were hasty about Christmas. Your house has always been perfect for hosting. And sorry, Mom. I cut her off. But everything's arranged now. The children's home is counting on this celebration, and the Food Network has their schedule set. You and Kate enjoy your peaceful Christmas. I'll be creating some magic here. I could almost hear her mental calculations, the lost opportunity to be part of what was becoming the talk of the town, the realization that their simple party wouldn't make the same impact. But we're family, she tried one last time. Yes, I agreed, watching more decorations being carefully placed. We are. And sometimes family needs to learn that peace isn't about excluding people. It's about embracing what makes each person special. As I hung up, another text from Kate popped up. I should mark the folder. He wants to know if you need more volunteers for the children's celebration. I smiled, adding his name to my volunteer list. Maybe some traditions were worth keeping after all, just not in the way my family had expected. Party Eve arrived with a blanket of fresh snow, making my Victorian home look like something out of a fairy tale. The Food Network crew was capturing every moment as excited children from the home arrived in small groups, their eyes wide with wonder. Welcome to Party, Magic. I greeted each child, my heart warming at their amazed expressions. The house had been transformed beyond even my expectations. Every room sparkled with lights, each space designed to create perfect memories. My phone had been surprisingly quiet for the past few days. After Kate's fiancé and Mark volunteered, something had shifted. He'd spent several evenings helping set up, clearly impressed by the scale of what we were creating. Your sister talks about simple celebrations, he'd said one night. But this is what party should be. The party special began airing at 7 p.m. I was too busy with the children to watch, but Olivia kept me updated on the social media explosion. Our small town was trending as viewers across the country shared their emotional responses to seeing the children's wishes come true. At 8 p.m., my doorbell rang. I opened it to find Kate standing there, tears in her eyes. "I just watched the special," she whispered. "Emma, I'm so sorry. We were wrong. All these years we called you intense when you were just magical." Behind her stood my parents, looking both ashamed and awestruck. My mother clutched her handkerchief, while my father couldn't stop staring at the joy-filled scene through my front windows. "The way those children look at you," my mother said softly. "It's the same way you used to look when planning party each year, before we started complaining about it being too much." I stood in my doorway, watching their faces as they took in everything. The children decorating cookies in the kitchen, the singing coming from the living room, the pure happiness that filled every corner of my home. "Peace comes in many forms," I said finally. "Sometimes it's in the quiet, but sometimes it's in the chaos of joy." My father stepped forward, pulling me into a tight hug. "Princess, we forgot what party really means. Can you forgive us?" Before I could answer, one of the younger girls from the home came running up. "Miss Emma, come quick. Tommy just found his wish ornament on the tree." I smiled at my family. "Would you like to come see what real party magic looks like?" They followed me inside, where Tommy, a shy 8-year-old, was clutching his ornament with trembling hands. Inside was a note confirming his greatest wish. He'd been approved for adoption, and his new family wanted to surprise him tonight. As Tommy fell into his new parents' arms, there wasn't a dry eye in the house. The Food Network crew captured it all, while my mother gripped my hand tightly. "This is what you do," she whispered. "You make dreams come true." Kate moved through the room, helping children with their cookie decorating, while Mark led a group in party carols. My father found himself surrounded by kids eager to hear his stories, his usual reserve melting away in the face of their enthusiasm. Later that night, as the celebration continued, my mother found me in a quiet corner. "When we said we wanted peace this Christmas, we thought that meant something simple and quiet. But this," she gestured to the joy-filled rooms, "this is real peace. Watching dreams come true, seeing love in action. That's all I ever wanted."